Okay, so I'm inside the boat now. I'm going to put the inside frame on, which is split. And the split goes on the bottom, and there's a couple of little things you need to do with this. First step is you really want to get all the screws started slightly. I'm not going to put them all in on video, but you want to start them all, and then you can only tighten them enough to make the sealant on the outside ooze out slightly, and then they have to sit for a few hours or overnight because you want the caulking on the outside to harden up enough where when you tighten down the screws that it doesn't all squeeze out, and it actually creates like a gasket. So that's the next step. I'll pause it and show you. I can pause it somewhere. Okay, so I've put all the screws in. None of them are tight. The frame itself, the outer frame, is sticking up slightly more than the inner frame, and it runs consistently about 1/4 inch around. I have here square drive screws. I replaced the ones that came, that were in the windows, which were regular Phillips. They kept stripping and snapping. So I went to West Marine and I purchased stainless steel square drives so I don't have to fight with the stripping. But if you don't align this frame up by starting each screw, they snap easily. So I purchased these there. Now in New York where I am, they're 30 cents individually a piece. But I grabbed 100 of them and I asked if they had bulk rate pricing, and they did. So instead of paying at 30 cents a piece, 100 of them would have been $30. I paid $8 and change because of the buying a volume amount. So they're all in now, and they're not tight. The frame's pulled against the window, just enough to ooze the silicone out around the outside. That's why we had the tape around it. I'm going to let this sit a couple of hours. Let that outer silicone harden up a little bit. Then I'll tighten this window frame in, and this will be done. The next step to complete it, well, it's almost done, would be to put the square gasket around, which I seam at the top. It just pushes in and fills this gap in the frame, and then the whole window's complete. And that's pretty much the whole installation. After I'm done with everything, the next day I go out there with the garden hose and I put the garden hose on it to make sure nothing's leaking. And if it's not leaking with the garden hose on, it should hold up against rain, I'm sure. Well, that's the Catalina 2527 or any split rim steel frame installation. Good luck with yours.